Now joining us on the line is someone who won on PGA Tour Americas back in early May at the Peru Open, and we weren't able to have him on the show the week after, but we're having him on right now. That's Hunter Wolcott. Hunter, welcome to Golf Talk Canada.
How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We are great, my man. So it's been, about a month and a half or so since the win? When you look back at that performance, what went right for you that week?
Yeah, it was really kind of a mental grind. I happened to be the first player penalized under the new pace play policy. Got off to a really good start. I got the penalty on Friday afternoon, and it kind of just turned into a mentality thing going into the weekend. Had to really stay present, really stay in the moment, and I thought I did that better than everybody else. The golf is its own deal, like the physical assets, but I really thought that I conducted my mind and my process to the best of my ability for 72 holes, and I happened to hit some great putts along the way. So looking back and recapping, it was just definitely a great mental effort for me that week, and a bunch of takeaways that I've been able to work on at home and look forward to getting up to Canada and kind of using some of that.
Yeah, 100%. So on that penalty, did you find out during the round or was it after? What happened?
Yeah, they tell you right there.
Okay.
They have to notify you, but you can get an appeal process, which I went through and ultimately was turned down. But yeah, they tell you right there. It told me right there walking off the seventh green, so I still have to go play two more holes. I started on the back nine that day, and that's a tone battle in itself to get realize you've got a penalty and then turn around and play a reachable par five and then a pretty short par four. And luckily I went par birdie, but yeah, it was an interesting way that it all went down.
Yeah, 100%. Well, good on you for battling through that and the adversity. And could you have seen a week like that coming for you? Like, were you trending in the right direction in terms of playing really good golf heading into that week?
I missed the cut the week before in Quito, but I had started to kind of put the pieces together mentally. And then I start to see some flashes of really good physical golf. And I texted my dad after I missed the cut in Quito, and I said, hey, I'm going to play really good this next week in Peru. No clue what the course is going to be like, but I know that I'm going to have a good week. And got off to a good start and kind of was able to end up winning. So it was yes and no. I play a birdie game with my friends every Tuesday in the practice round. I made 0 birdies that week, so it was kind of crazy to go from making 0 birdies in a practice round to winning the golf tournament. But yeah, I did see some flashes in there knowing I was going to have some success.
We're with Hunter Wolcott here, who won in Peru on PGA Tour Americas, and you mentioned your dad, and your dad is someone who played on the PGA Tour for 4 years back in the late 80s, early 90s. Just what's it like having the ability to have a conversation with someone who has played the game professionally and is able to give you some really good advice, I'm sure?
Yeah, I mean, it goes a long way for sure. When I was younger, I thought he didn't really know anything about anything, and now looking back, I'm like, man, I was so stupid. But I try to soak it in as much as I can, and he always, as a player, he's not going to send me a text on Thursday afternoon and get after me. He's kind of going to let me do my thing, and we'll recap after the end of the week, and that's kind of what he did. He gave me some space, just sent me a text and said, doesn't matter how tomorrow goes, I love you no matter what. And so that's kind of what you want from a dad. So he has a good ability to kind of turn the golf on and off and be a father when he needs to, and he's done a good job at that. But yeah, it's been great to just bounce ideas off of him. Like last week we were playing together, and I was just talking through thoughts coming down the stretch with pressure and kind of what he used to do, and so you can have great conversations like that most people can't really unless they've got a mentor, they don't really get to have those. So it's really special.
Yeah, for sure. And the PGA Tour Americas schedule is kind of interesting because you've been in this break right now, and the North American swing isn't too far away. So how have you been spending time just keeping your game sharp, or has it been rest, or all of the above? Just how have you been spending your time?
Yeah, I took some time off. When I say time off, I don't mean like just put the clubs in the closet. I just kind of would go just chip and putt for about an hour and not really allow myself to go into a grind mode for about a week, and then I kind of got back on the pony. And it's a lot of just, hey, like looking over stats, seeing what went wrong, what could go better, and then continuing my strengths of what went really well. So Gonna play Monday next week for the Corn Ferry event. That'll be my first like competitive round since Bogota when we finished up, and kind of lead that into the first event in New Brunswick. But just a lot of money games with friends back home. A lot of time practicing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not too far away from that first event in New Brunswick. Just how much are you looking forward to getting back out on PGA Tour Americas in the North American swing?
Yeah, very excited. I had some great weeks last year. I finished, tied 7th in New Brunswick, finished solo 9th in Ottawa, had a great week in Winnipeg, finished 4th. They changed the course. So I'm excited to get back up there and play, knowing that I've had success in some of the golf courses and knowing the travel is going to be a whole lot easier, able to drive from Ottawa to Toronto instead of catch a 6-hour flight from Lima to Mexico City. So definitely looking forward to that. Going to try and venture out and see some more of Canada than I did last year, kind of, see some of the sites and go do the fun things that there are to do in Canada. So I'm excited to get up there and enjoy competing and enjoy the beautiful country that Canada is.
Yeah, and we're broadcasting from the beautiful country that Canada is right now. So there's a lot of cool spots around here. I'm sure you're going to have fun getting back here. Now, obviously you spent time playing PGA Tour Americas last year, and here we are now. You're a winner now on PGA Tour Americas. Just how much have you evolved both as a player and a person in the last year?
Yeah, a lot. It's so a lot of growth has to happen for your game, for your personal life, in order to be good at golf. I often tell my friends, like, I wasn't mature enough to be a winner on any tour at 21. I just wasn't in that mindset. And so now looking back, I feel like I am. And, it's just a lot of growth, learning from your mistakes, learning from missed cuts. I think it's so important. And then just, I think one of the strengths that I have is playing well on the weekend. And that's something that you have to learn from doing it. And, last year was my first year of status on any tour that has a cut, and then 2 days after. So just kind of learning how to play well and make the week last a little bit longer and find your stride on Saturday and Sunday. It's a skill that you kind of have to learn, and I feel like I've done that pretty well. And so it's something that you don't really learn in college playing 3 rounds or in junior golf playing 3 rounds. You kind of have to figure that out on a tour, traveling by yourself, figuring all those plans out. So there's a lot of growth that goes into it, and I'm super proud of the way I've grown on and off the golf course.
Good on you, man. Now, we have a tradition here on Golf Talk Canada that whenever someone wins on PGA Tour Americas, they join us on the show and they debrief the victory. Now, this debrief was about 6 weeks delayed, but what do you say? You get another win on the North American swing and you join us to talk about another victory.
Yeah, that'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, Hunter, thanks so much for taking some time today, man. Really enjoyed your insights. Congratulations again on that victory. Good luck the rest of the way. You're third in the Fortinet Cup standings right now, so good luck the rest of the way, and hope to have you on again later this year.
Thanks so much. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. There goes Hunter Wolcott, the winner of the Peru Open on PGA Tour Americas back in May.